The Chowchilla Bus Kidnapping. On July 15, 1976, a school bus rolled through the quiet farmland of Central California. It carried 26 children, most between the ages of 5 and 14, and one adult, their bus driver. It was supposed to be an ordinary summer day. Instead, it became one of the most shocking mass kidnappings in American history. What followed was not only a crime, but a story of calm thinking, leadership, and survival against impossible odds. Chowchilla, California, was a small agricultural town. Everyone knew everyone. Life moved slowly. Crime was rare. That morning, children boarded a yellow school bus after a swimming trip organized by the local recreation department. The driver was Ed Ray, a former Marine. Calm, responsible, trusted. No one imagined danger was waiting on the road. As the bus traveled along a rural highway, a van suddenly cut in front of it. 3 masked men emerged, armed. They forced the bus to stop. Ed Ray tried to reason with them. It didn't work. The children were ordered off the bus and into the van. They were blindfolded, silenced, driven away from everything familiar. This was not a random act. It was carefully planned. The kidnappers were 3 young men: Fred Woods, James Schoenfeld, Richard Schoenfeld. They came from wealthy families. They were not desperate criminals. They were chasing ransom money, millions of dollars, believing they could outsmart authorities. Their plan relied on secrecy, and something far more dangerous. After hours of driving, the children and Ed Ray were taken to a remote quarry. There, waiting underground, was a buried moving truck trailer. Inside, minimal ventilation, thin mattresses, no clear exit. The children were forced inside. Then the hatch was closed. Earth was piled on top. They were buried alive. Inside the buried trailer, it was dark, hot, airless. Children cried. Some screamed. Others froze in fear. Time lost meaning. The walls felt close. Oxygen was limited. This was the moment where panic could have killed them all. Ed Ray understood something immediately. If panic took over, they would not survive. He spoke calmly. He told the children to sit down, to breathe slowly, to listen. He used his Marine training. Leadership became their lifeline. Hours passed. The air grew thinner. The heat intensified. Ed Ray organized the children into shifts. They conserved oxygen. They comforted one another. Older children helped younger ones. This was not chaos. It was cooperation. Eventually, Ed Ray noticed something. The trailer roof was made of thin material. The dirt above was packed, but not solid rock. There was a chance, a small one, but it was enough. Using hands, boards, and sheer determination, Ed Ray and the older children began digging upward. They worked slowly, carefully, stopping to rest, stopping to breathe. Hours passed. Then, light, fresh air. They had broken through. One by one, the children climbed out of the buried trailer. They were dirty, exhausted, shaken, but alive. They found help at a nearby quarry. Authorities were notified. The impossible had happened. All 27 captives survived. News spread quickly. America was stunned. How could 26 children be kidnapped at once? How could they survive being buried alive? And how did one man keep them calm enough to escape? Ed Ray was hailed as a hero. Rightfully so. Meanwhile, investigators tracked the kidnappers. Their plan unraveled quickly. Evidence led back to the quarry. Phone records, vehicle sightings, and financial trails exposed them. Within weeks, all 3 kidnappers were arrested. The kidnappers were charged with kidnapping, robbery, false imprisonment. They were convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Decades later, parole hearings would spark controversy, but the facts never changed. What they did was unforgivable. Survival did not erase trauma. Many of the children struggled for years with anxiety, claustrophobia, nightmares. Some never spoke publicly about the experience. Others later shared their stories. Healing took time. And support. Ed Ray never sought fame. He returned to his life quietly. But his actions saved 26 children. He demonstrated something powerful. Leadership doesn't require orders. It requires calm when chaos demands panic. The Chowchilla kidnapping is remembered not only for its horror, but for its outcome. It could have ended in tragedy. Instead, it became a case study in survival. It showed the power of calm thinking, the importance of leadership, the resilience of children. 26 children were buried alive. They survived. Because one adult refused to surrender to fear. Because children listened. Because cooperation replaced chaos. The Chowchilla Bus Kidnapping remains one of the most disturbing crimes in U.S. history. But it is also one of the most powerful survival stories ever recorded. This was the Chowchilla Bus Kidnapping. A story of terror. A story of leadership. A story of survival. If you want more true crime stories told with care, depth, and respect, subscribe to Mystery Grid. Because every story is a puzzle. And some puzzles remind us what calm can achieve when everything is on the line.